today is Tuesday, July 16th. The time now is 9:03 p.m. and this is the Public Affairs Committee meeting. We already had a moment of silent meditation, a pledge of allegiance. Madam Clerk, may I get a roll call, please?
Roll call. Chairperson Roman.
Here.
Vice Chair Cabillos.
Here.
Member Nickerson.
Here.
Next, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as is, or does anybody want to add anything?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as is.
I'll second.
And then next is the minutes. We had that meeting was canceled, so there aren't any minutes. So do I have to move forward?
I'll make a motion to approve moving forward without the minutes.
Second.
Minutes for the meeting canceled.
First, we have a second. Is there anyone in good and welfare that would like to come up now and say anything? Okay, no one. We'll move on to the G1, which is the track and report review. We'll do a brief review of the report and the upcoming events that are coming up. I have not updated the report with the actual expenses. I will do that this week, and I will email that to the clerk. I'm still waiting on some of the expenses to be finalized for the events, for me to receive them from the accounting department. So as soon as I get those, that's when we'll update it, and that's when actuals will go in and the clerk will get it. Okay, so the first thing we discussed briefly, I think at our, I don't remember if that was a committee meeting or somewhere, the website. So we're still doing some changes with the ADA and things like that. Anything you want to add, Christian?
No, just that we're taking proposals for the cybersecurity. I'm looking into services so that we can improve our security.
And then the next item that we have was the updating of the website. We said we were going to hold on up of that until we did the cybersecurity and ADA. Horace Mann, we still have, I haven't seen any requests for them needing the funds or anything.
So where do I start? So with Horace Mann, we are in conversation because of septic to sewer for the easement. So we're in lots of conversations with them with regards to that. To add to that, we, on a positive note, so every year with the Miami-Dade League of Cities, the president gets to choose a school that they're going to give backpacks away. I'm going to be doing it at Phyllis Ruth Miller at the end of August, but I've asked the board if they would donate monies to Horace Mann because their middle school, it's kind of, instead of giving them backpacks. So we will be donating. The dollar amount hasn't been finalized, maybe 1,000, maybe 1,500, maybe 2,000. I had a brief conversation with the mayor when the manager when this first came up, and asked maybe if it's something that we wanted to match and then earmark it for something that they are going to need at the school, whether it's a room, whether it's computers, whatever the case may be. I will have a better idea what the league is going to give or donate to the school. Along with, we're going to be giving backpacks away at Phyllis Ruth Miller at the end of the month. But I think that once we do that, I don't think they're going to be asking for anything for no Saturday breakfast or anything like that. That's sort of going to be hopefully what we can do. And it's just whether or not the village wants to do a match.
So we'll know about that at the end of the month?
There's a board meeting coming up. I'll know before the board meeting because I have to ask the executive board.
Okay.
And that call will probably be, I think next Monday.
So it'll be before our budget comes in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think, like, for instance, I know that in my discretionary, I haven't really touched it yet, so it's definitely something I can consider
Okay.
when we're looking at the match.
All right, cool, thank you. Okay, cool.
Okay. And 250 can also go to that, so. Vice Mayor Nickerson.
Yes.
Do you have any updates in the welcome?
I do actually. I should have printed them out and brought them today, but I have. So I have examples of of different things that we could choose through to see like what we kind of want it to kind of like look like and kind of be like inside or whatever. I have the on a jump drive. I went through and I have the images. So I'll print them out for the next meeting. I'll print them all out I'll have copies for everybody, like in a little packet. I'll just stick it together, all the different choices and stuff like that, and we can start to see things like, oh yeah, I think this would be good. I think this would be whatever. I reached out to Waste Management because
I was gonna bring up Public Works, it slipped my mind.
about the audit. Yeah. Well, I reached out to Waste Management about that. Still kind of waiting to kind of playing phone tag with them. I mean, I have to go, Jason Neal, he'll get right back to you, but this is nothing that Jason Neal deals. Like, he doesn't deal with anything like this. Because what I was trying to do was get them to donate stuff that we could put inside of the welcome wagon. So I'll continue to do that.
But he can help you.
He can help. He can help, and I've talked to him about other stuff. Cause I call him about other stuff, and he can help, but he's really busy. I don't want him to have to, But I'll find another way. I'll have him assist me to find another way to get in contact with the right person to do that. But like I said, I do have a whole bunch of examples of different things that could go into it on a jump drive. I'll just print it out and have that here.
And maybe reach out to, not her name, just skipped my mind with,
Waste Pro?
Waste Pro.
Waste
Waste
Pro.
Pro.
No, Elena
Recycle.
Tamasa, Coastal Waste Recycle.
Correct.
Recycle.
Not Waste Pro, that's a competitor.
Competitor to
Sorry.
Waste
Coastal Waste
Recycle.
Recycle.
Coastal Waste
There's so many
Recycle,
different names.
in regards to, because I know that she, and this recycling information is so important to include in there.
Yeah.
And since you are following up with her, I had asked her if we could get stickers for our containers for
That says-
what's proper to
Oh.
recycle.
Yeah, I remember when you had that, that
yeah,
town hall,
and-
which was really good.
And so, yeah, we need to, so if you want
I
to
got you, I'll do that also.
include that,
Yeah.
that'd be great. Okay, excellent, thank you. So we'll see
I will
those
next time, that
next,
my
okay, we'll see the packet for the next meeting. Okay, so the newsletter, we moved up the dates to August 1st. If everyone can turn in their, whatever it is that they're including. October 1st, so August 1st and October 1st will be the new due dates, and I'll update the tracking report. I think we have something from the police already. I saw something come through.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I just want to also state that I mistakenly left the newsletter off of the proposed budget, but I've already included it in the next, the next version, which I will be sharing with you. But I do need to get an exact amount if you have that.
Yes, I'm going to, I'll look at the last 2 invoices, and I'll send them both.
Okay.
August 1st and October 1st. So previous, we had October 26th and, I'm sorry, August 26th and October 28th, I think. So, yeah. Okay, and I think does that fall during the week? I don't know.
It's on Tuesday.
Is it
August
Tuesday?
1st?
Yeah.
Well, the October 1st is a Tuesday.
Okay, and August 1st?
Is it
what?
Thursday?
Okay, perfect. All right, so we're good. And then we talked about the role models breakfast I think we kept it in the budget for next year. So that's good. I need to finalize and put expenses for that Black History lunch that took place. And then we need to really discuss, I know that we didn't go in that much detail when we reviewed the budget in terms of like the events. So, this is probably a good time for the committee to discuss what that should look like. This was one that was not very well attended. So I open it up to you guys.
Wait, yeah, you're talking about the role models or you're talking about senior luncheon?
Senior luncheon, which was a Black History luncheon this year.
The last 2 years we did it in February.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of stated what my thoughts are with the Alberta Women's Club and the Public Affairs Committee. Maribel is away and is back on the 20th, as a matter of fact. And we're gonna set a time to meet next week. I think that, but even with that, I think we need to have a budget, because it's not like that's gonna happen overnight. Because my thought process with the public affairs, it should be geared more to dealing with affairs of the public and disseminating information that's related to the government and what we're doing, and even having a memorandum of use with Miami Shores to use their water facility, but that's a cost that should go under public affairs, and the events would be otherwise. So that's sort of my 2 cents right now with the events. I think that we should keep most that are like staple items, and then, I mean, it's really what the committee wants. I mean, there are some events that cost a lot of money, and 3 people show up, and, you know, that I'm not quite sure that's good use of the money, you know? So, I mean, for
this
budgeting
is-
purposes, we take a look at what you want to keep on, and if we agree on that,
We
and keep
haven't
them on.
done this in the past, but maybe this is something we may want to consider, since we are in conversations with the Women's Club, and it's maybe having a miscellaneous public affairs line versus, you know, how we have the senior luncheon line, and so maybe, not have the staples listed, like the 4th of July, the Easter, you know, whatever we want those events to be, and then maybe a miscellaneous, and keep the funds that we have budgeted, because we clearly, you know, and then see where it goes, and maybe try that for this year.
Because the goal is not to spend any money on
Right.
events from the village.
Right,
Should all be generated by sponsors and donors,
right,
if done in
correct.
conjunction and properly.
Okay, so are you okay with that?
Yeah.
For miscellaneous?
Yeah. I was, only thing, if I may, Madam Chair. Only thing I wanted to say, but, we don't have a Hispanic history heritage month.
It does exist.
No, I'm saying, we don't.
We don't celebrate
We
it.
don't, yeah, we don't have
Yeah.
one. So I think that, I don't know what you guys, I think that either
Celebrate
we do one or two
everybody?
things. Either we alternate years. One year we do the Black History, one year we do Hispanic History. Or we want to do the senior, because this was also the senior luncheon, we just, you know, combined it with the Black History. Or we want to do a senior luncheon, we do that in a different month, and we don't do a luncheon for either the Black History or Hispanic History. I just don't think it's fair for us to do a Black History one and not to do a Hispanic History one. So either I think that we should either alternate the years, just for budget reasons, we just alternate the years, we give the money to one year and one to another year, or we just don't have them at all. And then we just do a senior luncheon, we wouldn't just do something for all of our seniors or something like that. We just do that on like a different month. I don't know, that's just,
Well, we've had a Hispanic heritage. We had a senior luncheon in September, because that's the month, and we geared it to Hispanic. It's been a long time though. But at the end of the day, I really do believe that if the budget of public affairs and time that I've been here, when it's been like the most, it's been like 65,000. Right, that's the most money we spent. I think that was high. That could be raised. So if that is raised, we can have all the luncheons we want, and we'll have the manpower. So it all boils down to time and money. So it really boils down to if we're going to be able to have that partnership, and if that money is going to be raised, and if it is, then all events can happen. So I think it's great to have a Black History Month. I've not had a Hispanic Heritage Luncheon. I can't even believe how long. But you know, when I first started, we used to have a senior luncheon every other month. And now that we have a really great program that we're talking more about on Saturday, with regards to our seniors and how we're trying to be in more contact with them. I mean, being in contact with them is also, you know, kind of feeding them playing dominoes. You know, that's really kind of cool too, or chess or whatever, or bridge they play. I'm sorry. So you know, huh?
The Caribbeans and the Hispanics do play them.
So, you know, I mean, but it all boils down to money, and it all boils down to help. So I think if we can come up with a partnership, it's all a partnership, where there's a concerted effort to it, I mean, I think we can do all that, and I think we should.
Okay, so I think the next question then I would ask then is, what are our staples? What do we want to say we are taking them on regardless?
So 4th of July.
But we have to do Arbor Day for Tree City, so we have to, that's first.
So we have to do Arbor Day.
That's part of Tree City.
Oh, you mean in order? You want to do it in chronological order?
Well,
Oh, my bad. I was just, that's what I was just.
Yeah,
I was calling it.
Arbor Day, 4th of July, and Easter have been really the staples. Everything else has been,
Mm.
you know, interjected by one of us, you know?
I
I'm
mean,
definitely gonna do Operation Village Cleanup, that's usually done with the police, I'm definitely gonna do that. We just had a meeting about the backpack giveaway National Night Out. Some of those things have been at no cost to the city, that's why it really hasn't been on here.
5K is definitely a state.
5K has been with us since 2009.
Like they're off stage.
Yeah.
She was like,
Okay,
what-
so, I think.
Little River,
I think, Little River is cleanup we participate in, it's not something it's not something we actually do. So, Christine, do you have
Okay,
something?
yeah, I just wanted to mention about the Little River and some of these that require cleanup, we do have to do something
Right.
per
Yeah,
state
yeah.
requirement, and that is satisfied from us doing the Little River cleanup.
Oh,
before
okay, got it.
us doing those things.
Okay.
So we have to do some kind of cleanup, it's good that it's an organized
Right.
activity that we're doing with others.
Right. Okay, so we want to keep the Little River cleanup. Operation Village Cleanup in the past has been, I think, the focus was from the police department. So, and I do believe that that's a great event. I mean, it's nice to get out there and clean the village and, you know, everyone get out there, so. So we'll keep that. I think we did a great job last year with keeping things that were needed. We did have to cancel the Easter event due to not having the resources to put it together and not, you know, within the time frame. I think when we have the plans and when I write out, you know, what we do for each event, I think that will be helpful. So Mayor, I know that you chaired the Easter event for many years, and so if you could give me the details for those, what took place, so that we can start putting it down and really create a file of what's happened with each of these events. Okay, and then the League of Cities, we said we were going to go ahead and keep that in the budget for next year. Now, I think it's important for us to go. I don't know that, you know, we don't need to be at that or whatever sponsorship level, same sponsorship level, but what do you guys think? I think it's a need, and it needs to stay. But
I think if you sustain it at bronze for right now, and if anything else should come, if anybody else, you know, moves enough capacity, but bronze is the minimum. I cannot not say that it's never gonna go up. Bronze, because bronze used to be 2,500, may go up eventually to 3,500. I don't foresee that happening for the next fiscal year, at least I haven't heard that. But bronze is 3,000, that's the minimum.
Now, I'm checking. Mayor Padillos, when you're no longer the president, can't you still be on the,
I'm still on the board, I'm the
still
past
on the
president.
board? As long as she's still, if she's a part of it to that respect, I think that we should try to donate at a higher level than other individuals are donating to where they don't have anybody on the board. You know what I mean? Like, we should.
You know,
I think it's kind of.
I think you all know, I come from a place where, you know, if I can get monies raised, you know, legally and ethically, I always will. We had the opportunity where we had a developer that bought a table and it was filled by residents. You know, if the cost, if there's a cost difference and we were at the table and you all want to do silver next year and the difference is 2,000, you know, we can cross that bridge. I just think for purposes of what we're going to be asking for, you know, as it is, we're going to be including the newsletter, which is something we've never done. And, you know, the manager asked me, how is that paid? And I told her I pay it. And she's like, well, why? And I'm like, well, you know, when you run for mayor, you know, things come with that. You know, you assume responsibility that you want things to be better, and I don't ask questions, you know, I do it because it used to be black and white and color looked better. And it's part of being a leader, and I'm okay with that, and it's the role you assume. So I have no problem with that. I appreciate her putting it on on the part of the budget. It's, but doesn't get approved, I'm still gonna do it anyway. It's something that I think that the residents love, and even though some of them may not entirely love, and I want everybody to be a part of it. Everybody should have a message in there. The chair that you are, the committee that you chair, you should be reporting on it. So that's why it's there anyway, so.
I think the League of Cities is a very large organization. For us to have El Portal being one of the smallest, like cities, being one of the smallest villages in the entire county, for El Portal being one of the smallest villages in the entire county, for us to have an individual sitting on the board of such a large organization to be one of those individuals, which it's not like a 20 board or 30 board, you know what I mean? Like, we should have pride in that while she's there on that board. And so I think we should try to maintain like the sponsorship level that we've been at. If one of us are up there, we should have pride in that. I think we should try to maintain
And I
that
don't
sponsorship
disagree
level.
with you. I do think that we should probably keep it where we are right now, and as the mayor mentioned, we have discretionary funds, we have ways to raise money, so maybe that's something that when it's coming up, then we can cross that bridge when we get there and decide, but we can start with at least it's budgeted for now, and at least it's something, just like, I don't think I have it here, but the Miami Shores Gala, I do believe that that's important, as, they are our neighbors, and it's important for us to be there. So the annual 5K, we'll be updating the newsletter, making sure that the sponsors are all listed, that the pictures are there, that it's highlighted, and so we'll get that, and we'll get all the actual, like I mentioned at the budget meeting, that's what I'm like, what meeting was that? I think it paid for itself, it was like $300, based on the numbers that I have. So we'll get that finalized. 4th of July, I think we've stayed pretty much in line, but again, I have to get the final numbers. So the backpack giveaway, Mayor, you're doing that with the League of Cities?
Well, there's two. I've always done one with the police department. The manager and the chief and I actually just met on National Night Out.
Okay, yeah.
What we did a couple years ago in an effort to kind of be a little more efficient and streamlined, we combined the backpack giveaway and National Night Out. We reviewed with the chief a couple days ago, I don't even remember when, about last year, because compared to the year before, we got an extraordinarily large amount of kids last year. So Sandy Owens, you weren't there last year, were you, at the backpack giveaway? You were out of town, right?
No, I was here.
Oh, okay, I thought you missed last year's. I explained to the chief just sort of things that we can maybe do differently because of the volume of kids that we got. And he feels confident with the plan that he's going to put in place that it will control as far as just sort of like what happened with the flow. So he's in agreement to keep it both together, the National Night Out and the backpack giveaway. So that's going to be the first Tuesday in August.
Okay,
But that's separate from the League of Cities.
okay.
That's sort of El Portal's little one, right?
Yep. All right, so that's first, so that's the next, really, that's our next event. The backpack giveaway.
There's a question mark as to money spent, but last year, Craig Smith and Associates donated money, most of the money, which is probably why there isn't a dollar amount there. Because I want to say, I can't remember, which is why we need the line item in the budget,
Right.
but they donated money last year.
Okay.
And
Well, we
then
should still know, if, what we
Yeah.
spent and what they donated, because then, I mean, if we should also have a sponsorship ask, list, so that we know how much we need to raise for each event. So, yeah, okay. The State of the Village, we already mentioned, is the 4th Tuesday in August, so that would be our second event coming up.
And I'm working on a merit bank to be the sponsor.
Awesome. And, this has been our next one. It's a big discussion.
Halloween.
It's Halloween, and Edgar at 4th of July begged me to, let's have something. You know, he just stated that, in his opinion, it was one of the best, you know, events and fun. You know, not attendance, because we do know that when we did it on 87th, you know, the last few years, there were a lot of people that came from outside of the village. And that's why it grew, you know, we went out of candy so quickly and, you know, so much. So, you know, I love Halloween too. I mean, I don't, you know, it's up to, I say let's bring it up for discussion. It's a lot, you know, these events take a lot of work. We don't have a partner right now to take on the responsibilities of putting it together. And so I can't commit to doing everything right now because I have a pretty busy schedule. So I'll leave it open.
We didn't have it last year. I do believe that the Halloween party needs to happen this year. We've done different variations of the Halloween event. Not counting last year, the last 3 years, we did it on the street of 87th Street. But how that started was because there was a party here at Town Hall. And what we did was because back then there was construction going on, so 87th Street was closed and Northeast 2nd Avenue was closed. So there used to be barricades. So I purchased this banner and it says Albertine Block Party. But what it really was they started trick-or-treating from Miss Claudia's Village Academy, and then we all walked together and the party ended here. That's how it was initially for years. And then we got an extraordinary amount of kids, so then the committee, I don't remember who the players were in the committee, they were like, how about we close off the street? We had to get the buy-in from the police department to be able to ensure that they could control that. And then that's when we had the street closed off, probably, I want to say 16, 17, and 15, 16, 17. And then before that, it was the other way. So I really think we need to do something. I do believe that there needs to be a help because setting it up, you know, 1 year I had Horseman kids, 1 year it was the Clerk and I mean, we're putting tables all the way up and down, and the women's club, they all have kids, so they can't really commit, you know. I mean, it's a tough holiday because everybody has kids and everybody wants to, and if you're not a kid, well, you're still a kid because you want to dress up, you know. It's one of those holidays, but we do need to do something. Other cities require the residents to have wristbands. That would be, we need the help of the police officers. If you don't live in El Portal, you can pay $5, you know. We want to incorporate that this year, next year, I don't know, but that we need to have something. We can make it smaller. I think I tried that in 17. I was like, okay, let's not be all of 87th Street because that was excessive. Let's close like Northeast 3rd Avenue to Northeast 4th Avenue because that's a block, right? And then a lot of residents, I'll tell you, Terry Sanchez was phenomenal. Kirk and Lee are fantastic. Joan and Captain are fantastic. I believe that if we, because I remember Terry Sanchez, she must have texted, she hunted me down last year to find out why weren't we doing it. So maybe, you know, really reach out to Terry, Courtney, and Lee, and maybe there'd be a committee, and maybe they want to help, and so that they can sort of have a subcommittee and they realize what it really entails. Until we sort of like, you know, sit down with Maribel and maybe we do something bigger and better for 2020. But for this year, I feel confident that Ken, Joni, Kirk, Courtney, Anna, and Fernando, and Terry Sanchez. Terry Sanchez has donated over 700 cupcakes for years. So I really think
their info, because I don't have everybody's info.
we contact them to a subcommittee. I'm confident that they'll be like, oh yeah, this is great.
And then I think,
And then we sent a letter, so we get a letter and we sent a letter. So if you're going to decide to close 3rd to 4th Avenue, and then we sent a letter to every person that lives there and let them know so they can put a table out as well. You definitely want to sit down with the chief and the manager because that's one event that you know, the police officers need to be there, and it's, you know, a lot of public safety, you know.
Vice Mayor, anything you want to add?
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect, Madam Chair. I think blocking off one block would be perfect as far as being able to do the wristbands if we're going to do them. Because if we block off more than that, then teenagers who always are thinking about how to be mischievous, they'll like go up to like 89, come across, sneak in the back, you know what I mean? They'll try to sneak in other ways. If we just have a police officer, you know, at two ends, if we block off just one block, we can put police officers at both ends, and there's no way to like sneak in people's backyards, you know, and stuff like that. So I think that would be perfect.
Okay, so I think what should take place is that we do set up, we contact those residents to see if they want to create a subcommittee. And then the committee should meet with ideas as to maybe locations or where to have it. I think we should change the location and not make it 87 because that's where we've been having it. And that's where we've been getting the traffic.
Sherwood Forest.
So I'm thinking, my idea was either Sherwood Forest or that we take it to the west side.
I think we should change it up all like every
Yeah.
year. We change it up. You know, maybe
Change
add
the street.
87.
Change the street so they don't know where we're going.
They don't know.
Only we know where we're going.
But yeah, I mean that'd be perfect. And you know, next week we can Sherwood Forest, and then we can do west.
291st Street.
Yeah, I think we should think of new blocks and just, you know, every year kind of change it up so different people get the experience.
Everybody's gonna be here at 87th Street, be like,
And it's gonna take a lot to drive around and figure it out, but. Okay, so, yeah, Mayor, you can get those contacts.
I will send it to Miss Clerk, Miss Denise.
Okay, and then, the next one is, so we do have August. I just want to, you know, kind of go again, what we've got coming up. National Night Out, so the police chief and the manager have all that. State of the Village, Mayor, you have that. Halloween, that'll be a teamwork. And then turkey giveaways.
See my smile?
Yeah.
Because I gotta tell you all something that you all, if you didn't like me, you're gonna like me now, I think. So the turkeys have always been given to us by the Miami-Dade League of Cities.
Uh-huh.
And we have to go get them, right, at Miami Gardens? Yeah, we're not gonna have to do it this year because they're gonna be here. They're gonna be
President.
stationed in El Portal. So I'm
President.
working with Seth and Sam to get it on the, on there. So instead of, you know how, well, they usually go to Doral, Miami Beach for that whole area. But for the northeast corridor, they're all gonna have to come to El Portal.
There we go.
So I hope that you all will be there once we have the date solidified. It's an opportunity, the whole big thing will be here. I'm looking at Horseman, but hopefully, when Richard comes to survey the area with Walmart and all the other people, they're gonna see if the area of sanctuary is sufficient, or it'll be the west side. So they'll be here for the 2 hours. We don't have to go anywhere. No public works truck, no police escorting us to go race. You know, all police officers can be here. I do have to meet with you and the chief, because when they leave here, they may need police escorts in the next location to speed it through. Other cities usually do, that's the only thing that we may have to do, if they don't get accompanied by the city that they're leaving. But for the 2 hours, they're gonna be in El Portal. So our residents can actually go, we can give our tickets and the residents can go there.
Great, okay. So the next item is the Christmas. So we don't necessarily need to have that discussion today, but I ask you to please start thinking about it. And if you have ideas, please email me so that.
Well, email the clerk.
Email the clerk. Well, for the council, email the
Yeah.
clerk, but if the manager, if you have anything that you'd like to, you know, see done, and then we can discuss it in September as a committee, what we should be doing for Christmas.
May I just throw this
Yeah.
out there? You know, I really love when we did our tree lighting, and the big one in the front. I love when the kids came and put an ornament, it's the tree trimming. We haven't done that, we did it in a couple of years. I thought that was really nice. I don't know if anybody else, but I kind of miss food truck night. I think it's kind of nice to have food trucks that night, and have Santa come. I'm trying to work on some snow. You know, it's the way to end the year. And I love the tree lighting. I was like, oh, you all pick a color, whatever that color may be. But when I look at the pictures and I see the kids putting ornaments in the tree, to me, it's one of the best ones. And so if we can think along those lines and get the kids some snow and get the police officers and the truck and, you know, Santa Claus coming down, you know, it's the snow, hopefully some cold weather.
So right now, we have the date of December 13th is the date for that. That would be the second Friday.
Hold on, let me get it just what was that?
Friday the 13th, December.
Oh, yeah, no,
13th.
we can't do that. How about December 6th?
We could do December 6th. I mean,
That way we can actually enjoy it, right? When, most people put up their decorations right after Thanksgiving, right? That's what they're doing on Black Friday or whatever the case may be. So how about like December 6th?
People are already in the festival.
It's your birthday weekend, it's my anniversary weekend. I don't know, sacrifices you make, that's okay. I'll light a tree.
Okay, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Okay, so do we want to change it to December 6th?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, December 6th is fine.
You might do the 10th. It's not too.
That's, yeah, because if it gets too close, you can do it on a Wednesday. It doesn't have to be Friday. No one said it had to be Friday. And December's a holiday month. No one really works in December, right? So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just kidding. I mean, it could be December 3rd.
Well, the kids have school. And, I mean, how late do we go? It gets dark early.
It gets dark early. So what do we do, like a 6 to 8, or 5:30 to 7:30? Light the tree, eat.
Madam Chair.
Mm-hmm.
What date does the train come?
Late.
It's later.
Yeah, because that's why we've done it so late, because it coincides with FEC train, I know.
That makes
But
it a big.
Google it, it's already up. That's why we've always done it late.
I was, Madam Chair, if I may say something. I was also gonna say, if we could, if by any chance, put in the budget, if we're gonna do something for Christmas, put in the budget to be able to afford lights, so that we can put lights either out in the village hall, we can put lights maybe on the palm trees on like North Miami Avenue, we can put lights, so that when you know, when you're driving like from Miami Shores and you get to
I
us.
think we were looking for, I think somebody, overheard somebody talking about a sponsor for that.
Oh, really?
That's a lot of money.
Yes, a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a lot of money. I don't know if you all remember, there was a resident, because we didn't really do much last year, we just did I think the women's
The
Cutters
gentleman.
party. The gentleman came here and spoke and was very upset that we didn't do anything for Christmas. I've already contacted him. I'd be like, it's that time, sir. You want to be a part of Christmas? This is what it takes.
Okay.
He lives at that house on 88th Street, you know where Oscar used to live? That big house, where it had.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a mini mansion.
Yeah.
That's where they live.
Oh, okay. All right, so let us know in
I
September
will let you know.
if he contacts you. Okay, so
Like
what
it's
did
that
we-
time of the year.
Okay, what did we say about dates? We want to make sure that our staff and everybody is aware.
I'm flexible the first week in December. I just can't the first Thursday because the Miami League of Cities is having a holiday social, which you all will be aware of in the next 30 days or so on that Thursday. We've never had a holiday social, and we're having a holiday one this year, so.
So we want to
It's
go
that first
with,
Thursday.
maybe Tuesday, since that's been our thing too, to have the things on Tuesdays. On Tuesday, December 3rd.
I see other municipalities do it on days that are not Fridays.
Right.
I mean, Friday comes along and parents may not want to do anything.
Okay.
Yeah,
so-
we could also propose it to the council and see what they say. I don't have a problem with December 3rd.
Okay,
Whatever day,
so Tuesday, December 3rd,
That week I'm pretty flexible
Okay.
right now.
the date's set.
It's not good.
All right. Next is town hall informational sessions. I see that the mayor's having something this Saturday. Any other town halls that we have planned?
No, that one derived out of just something I read, and DPO is sponsoring it. Disaster Partners is sponsoring it. She told us that yesterday.
Chairwoman, yes?
I know we're having another comp plan workshop for the community. I just want to put it on record. We did not get a big attendance from the last one. We have one coming on September 7th. We really need the community members to come out to weigh in on our comprehensive plan.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be out of town again, so.
That's one of the reasons why I moved up the date on the newsletter. Okay. Do you want to tell them now about Proservia?
Well,
We're gonna put it on the record. So we met with Proservia, I don't even remember, Proservia was giving the manager a hard time about presentations, and he says, you know, TVs are so cheap. And I was like, we take donations. They're giving us two for our city hall. But Ms. Clerk, guess what they want to return? They want 2 podiums. So we're gonna have 2 podiums, which we've been looking at, so that when there's presentations, and the clerk and the manager go to the Miami-Dade County furniture store to get these podiums. So there's gonna be 2 podiums, so when there's dialogue between 2 individuals, we don't have to share the speaker, which looks a little peculiar. And then there's gonna be, I think it's a 65-inch is gonna go right there, and then one for the council is gonna be right there.
Excellent.
but I must say we have to have the podium before
But
we get the
they want
TVs.
podiums.
Oh, okay, well, how much does the podium cost?
About $1,200, but if I can get it.
No, we knew when was better,
Yeah,
right?
because when I got it, but you have to be on top of it.
You have to be
go
on
a
top
lot.
of it. Okay, so
Mr. D was really good about going.
Yeah, well, we'll have to go check it out.
We'll go check it out.
Well, take a look and see, because I don't think, I still have discretionary funds, it's not a lot of money, but, you know, we can.
You just said Horace might can have it.
Well,
I'm just kidding. Let's take a look at the podiums. I'll go with, I'll go with you guys if you want to go. I mean, I know you two have gone,
I
so.
think me and Ron on the same page, me and Ron, I think our mind frame is like, the cost of the TV is about to like they're about to, like, you know what I mean? Like exit each other out, the cost of the TV and the podium is $1,200.
But we don't have to get both.
Yeah, which is
We don't have
what
to
we
get both.
just.
Right.
Yeah.
So, before they changed their mind, we saw them again
We're
this
matching,
morning.
we're matching,
Yeah,
the-
matching funds.
We gotta match the grant,
we're
the
matching.
donation.
Okay, good. All right, and then, so that's the town hall information, and that's it. Anybody else want to add anything?
Yes, Madam Chair, if I may. A couple of things, and you guys, you know, we can handle it however we want to in the future going forward, but one thing is the, Councilperson Mathis wanted to save Dave Gallo.
Oh, that's right, yep.
And, in some way, the, I don't know, the art fair, if we could, you know, in the future, or, I just think it was a great event, you know,
Looking
so.
at the founder.
Yeah.
And I don't-
I mean, but I just put it out there, just for memory purposes, just to keep it in their mind,
You know,
you know.
that's an event that is close to my heart, clearly, for the obvious reasons.
Just put it out there, that's all, just so we don't forget about it, that's all.
You know, it takes, events like that take a lot, and we had a partner that helped. But they take a lot of work, especially when you don't have a committee. And they're expensive, and the turnout was not great. So I'm not opposed to, when I was there that day, the last time we had it, I said we need to reinvent it. And we need to figure out, you know, when we first did the art fair, there weren't really that many cities doing art fairs, except for, you know, the Coconut Grove and, you know. But then, it seems like everybody else started doing art fairs again. So it wasn't, you know. Go ahead.
No, I didn't, if I may, Madam Chair. Maybe, have we ever thought about, talking about the shores, or just, or doing like a Three Villages type of art fair, maybe shutting down, like Northeast Second, like.
The last time we had the art fair, I wanted to shut down Northeast Second, that's where I
maybe
wanted
have,
it.
like Miami Shores involved and kind of make it like a, you know, because especially if we kind of go down to, like, they have all those little cafes and stuff, and so,
Well, you know, the art fair is phenomenal, but there's so much competition everywhere.
yeah.
And the last art fair that we had, you know, I don't want to say mistake, but, you know, we had it Tuesday night, because Friday night was packed, and then Saturday it wasn't. Did we have something too? I don't remember. But we have to just, there's just so much competition now.
We don't have
But
to.
I
just-
agree, one of those, but, you know, I always thought the 5K would be that, but, you know, I mean, you'd have to really think of what's super creative out there, because, I mean, everywhere you go, there's a market.
I think the 5K has a lot of potential. Like
So
it
we could
just,
probably-
and with my experience with events, and in chairing the 5K for the first time, I think there's a lot of room for improvement there, and ways that we can grow it. You know, first of all, it wasn't really promoted outside of El Portal before. Whereas now this year we use the website, that, you know, that runners could just search, because runners are trying to qualify for races, and they're constantly looking for small races that they can run in. And so that's, you know, one of the ways that we can get that to grow. I don't know if it'll be the art fair, but, you know, what I liked about the art fair was that we brought in, it was very much of a community. It was about showcasing, you know, we have a lot of different types of artists within our community. And it was about showcasing local art, and especially in El Portal, and the diversity of El Portal. So I think there is room for an event that showcases the diversity of El Portal, that can include the arts, and maybe a spin-off from the art fair. But that's going to take a lot of,
Like I said, I just wanted, just so we don't forget about it.
yeah,
That's-
it's not forgotten. I don't think anybody's forgotten about it. I think depending on how it goes with the women's club, then maybe there'd be more time for us to then plan that type of event. You want to add anything to me?
Right. Well, I feel, I'm gonna close on saying, I said it before, we gotta get it, we gotta do things right to be right. So, I mean, if we keep adding more
No.
without ironing out what we're doing here, it's just more work on us, and we just can't do that. So I think that we need to really do what we have and do it right, to know what right looks like. Because let me tell you something, another missed opportunity event is the 4th of July. 4th of July, anywhere else in any other municipality, is a huge event. There's a big stage, there's a band, you know, another thing that we don't do is Veterans Day. I mean, there's a lot. But I think with our current list of events, I think 4th of July is another missed opportunity. It's a truly big American family event.
Which includes everybody.
I'm gonna add to the 5K that I've already started promoting internally with the league. It's gonna be my last month as president. I've already made it aware to most of them that their presidents are gonna have to be here, because they got invited at the last hour, but you know, I was sort of busy this past May. But anyway, but those are two truly opportunities that we can really showcase. I mean, you know, like I kid around to the mayor of Miami. I said, listen, you say you've never been to El Portal? Well, hey, guess what? You can see it in under 30 minutes if you just ran already for 5K. And he laughed, but he couldn't make it. So that's sort of like my thing so you really can showcase the 5K, and you really can showcase El Portal with the 4th of July. And I'm going to close on saying that when the 4th of July was over, Facebook has one fantastic feature, and it reminds you what you were doing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And what came up on July 5th when I was home was where we were at July 5th in 2011, with all the police officers then, with the entire community on the fields of Horseman. Ty was probably all of about maybe 3 years old. And I looked at those pictures and I'm thinking, things were simpler then, and it was really great. I mean, there must have been 20 police officers there at that event, all behind the barbecue. Actually, no, that's not true, because we had Neat Cuts, or whatever his name was, that did the barbecue. And all the faces here, they're just a little older, was there. So there's 5 tents, 4 bounce houses, snow cone machine. You had just gotten elected. Daisy Black was there, I was there, Councilperson Mathis was there. You look at the pictures, that needs to be relived, because there's a missed opportunity with the 4th of July, and it's already a staple existing event that everybody knows is 4th of July. So, you know, let's get our staple events done right, in conjunction and collaboration with all of us together. That's it, I have nothing else to say.
All right, with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
No.
Okay, meeting adjourns at 9:53 PM.
I think the AC agreed with you.